I just got back from vacation. Firstly, I hope that all of you are able to take some vacation sometime soon. I really think it's important, especially considering everything that's going on around us, that we take time to ensure that we are whole and can get through all of these tough and unprecedented times, because it's really crazy what's going on right now here in the US, and I guess across the world as well. But we focus a lot of what I'm thinking about and the work that I do in the US, because that's just where I am geographically. Firstly, hi everyone, Omari Richins, CEO and founder of the Public Health Millennial, where we help people learn, navigate, and transform their public health careers. Feel free to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and if you'd like to join our free community, we'll be doing workshops and hosting other connections and learning spaces. Feel free to join at the Public Health Millennial Collective at thephmillennial.com/join. Thank you all so much for joining. Subscribe if you have not as yet. So I was able to go on some vacation in Canada. I also worked there for a couple of days. I went to celebrate both my girlfriend's birthday at a Lady Gaga concert, which was amazing. Definitely recommend. If you have not as yet, she was a really good artist, as well as the set and everything was dope. It was dope, and was also able to go and celebrate my big sister's birthday. So shout out to the big sis out there as well. Some of the things that I'm just kind of thinking about that I'll share today, since I don't really have anything planned because I've been disconnected, and I think we all need to take some time to disconnect, whether that is a couple hours, a day, a few days, or a week. Just do what you need to do, because we need you in the long run. So the first thing I think is like just public transit, and how amazing public transit was in Toronto, and how great and accessible and easy it made so much of the trip. And of course, I was there mostly on vacation, but even when we were working, me and my sister went down to a co-working space in downtown. We were able to get public transit there, very seamless. And I think about the barriers of transportation, whether that just be like not having a car, having to rely on public transit in the US, or the cost related with having a car and all the other expenses that go along with it, and how it really creates a barrier for so many people. And one of my big wishes is that the US would have better public transit infrastructure. I know it's a long term goal and a lot of advocacy, because transit and building that kind of infrastructure is very expensive, as well as needs a lot of people to advocate and be for it. So this is my start for that. Hopefully it happens within the next few decades. Who knows? But that was really amazing. And another thing that stood out to me was when I was there and I was like having conversations with people, is like, oh, you're in the US? Wow, so much is going on. How are you like taking care of yourself? And the first thing that always comes to mind is like I try to disconnect from a lot of news unless I'm intentionally searching and in a space where I'm trying to take that in, because I feel I know that the 24-hour news cycle is not helpful, and especially when we're living in a time where I feel like there's just so many drastic changes or things that feel like changes that are happening. Um, it's really really hard to be able to do your work and just be bombarded by these messages. So really find a way to find trusted messages that you would listen to on a slower cadence than whatever you are typically used to. And I feel like that's a great way to just disconnect and really take care of yourself while all these bigger things around us are happening. And this is not to say that we have to disconnect and not engage with these things, because more right now more than ever, I think it's so important that we do engage and we do show up and we do communicate the importance of the work that we do with not only the policymakers but the communities, because there are going to be a lot of devastated communities. But getting back to the point of finding space for you to disconnect from the news, disconnect from all of the hard things that are going on, while also finding time and space to engage in conversation, engage in building relationships, building coalitions, building people who support you and lift you up, and really trying to understand that we have a part to play right now when things are hard, to continue conversations and to share our perspectives on why things are so important. Um, I could imagine many people right now are feeling like, what is going on with our health landscape, our public health landscape, when we have leadership saying that Tylenol causes autism, which is furthest thing from the truth that could be told. And we're wasting so much time and energy talking about non-issues when we have people that are going to be hungry. We have systems that are creating more inequities, and we're talking about just such foolishness. And like, I feel disheartened sometimes. It's like, what is going on? Like, why is this in 2025 the things that we have to talk about when there's scientific evidence to say that this is not the case, and that has been clear. And I think going back to like, who are our trusted messengers, and how do we get out of this age where I feel like a lot of the messengers are maybe some grifters in certain ways, or aren't the experts around the topics? And why is there such a big push back from authority, from science? And we are in a time where we have to kind of sit back and analyze that, as well as continue to have conversations, to speak, because we can't stay quiet at this point in time. Those are just some of the things that I'm thinking about right now. I know that many of you are finding it difficult also to find jobs in public health. And some advice that I gave to other folks is that it is hard. It is a weird time. And there are many jobs, many careers, many issues that are important to you that you will find a role in. And you have to know that you have to continue to build your skill sets, your experiences, and build your understanding of like what the future of this field would look like. Because one thing's for sure, and I've said this so many times now, on like I'm it's disheartening that all the systems are crumbling for the people that needed, the communities that needed the most at this time, and we haven't felt the full impact of what that's going to look like. And it creates major issues. And we know that public health is a net positive. Investing in public health, investing in early education, investing in prevention saves us money. And I don't know what it's going to take for the administration, for the government to kind of understand this. But people are going to be starting to hurt very soon. And I don't know. I don't know. And I'm someone that's going to be optimistic and know that I am going to know that I have to play my part in staying optimistic even when things feel hard, especially now because so many others in less privileged spaces than me aren't feeling optimistic, and I need to be someone out here that is showing up, um despite all that I'm seeing in day-to-day life around here, and seeing in a lot of the work that I do. There's so much there's so much that, I don't know, begs so many bigger questions. And I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. But I just want you all to know that regardless of how you're feeling right now, you are valued, you are important, the work that you're doing is important, and we are going to get through this together, and we'll be on a much better side. Hopefully the pendulum swings so far that we really understand what inequities look like and how they're bred community, and how we have to build systems that really support folks and support communities, and don't create more barriers when we have such a affluent country. Why are we so behind in so many ways? And the last thing that I'll talk about, or that comes to mind, like if you're in North Carolina, I recently learned that I'm not sure North Carolina government is proposing that by 2030 that there be 0% corporate state income tax. And that's crazy to me. Who is supporting this? Like, how are we gonna have organizations, companies that are making billions of dollars that maybe most of the time are not even located or dollars aren't coming to North Carolina, but we're going to incentivize them with zero tax incentive while systems are crumbling across the state? I don't know. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Anyway, y'all, I will be working on creating some free workshops, paid workshops, different things like that. Be sure to subscribe, connect wherever you are, and you'll be up to date to whatever I'm going to be sharing. If there are specific topics that you want me to cover, I'll put a link below. Feel free to share topics, and I'll think about ways that I can share more information on this. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I know that this wasn't as structured. It was just me kind of just talking from what's going on in my mind. But I hope it was valuable to someone. Hope that you'll have a great rest of your day. Look forward to connecting. Take care of yourself. Take care of someone else. Cheers, everyone. Peace.